an incredibly big deal that Facebook is completely overhauling its mission and has a new mission. So what is the new mission of Facebook?
So our new mission is to bring the world closer together. And for the last decade, our mission has been to make the world more open and connected. And we've been really focused on these ideas, giving everyone a voice and helping to connect people, especially with their friends and family. And I think that those are really good things, and we're going to keep doing them. All right? We're definitely not done with that mission yet. But now, I just feel like we have a responsibility to do more in the world. Right? I mean, when you look at the world today, giving people a voice and helping people connect are good, and they've made the world better in a lot of ways. But our society is still very divided, right? And that means that people need to work proactively to help bring people closer together. It's not just enough to help us simply connect. We need to work to bring the world closer together.
You've always had such an interesting utopian view of things, and it seems like this mission now, looking forward, is something a little bit like Facebook's grown up.
Yeah, well, when I look at the greatest opportunities and challenges for our generation, right, so things like ending poverty or curing diseases or stopping climate change, those are things that no one group or country can do by themselves, right? So we have to build a world where people can come together to take on these big, meaningful efforts. And that change just isn't going to happen top down. Right? There's no one in the world who can just snap their fingers and make that happen. Yeah. So what we need to do is empower people all around the world to build communities, things like church groups and sports teams and neighborhood groups and groups for people who love dogs and new moms and dads. Those are the groups that actually bring people together. And once people are coming together at these smaller groups, that actually grows and it ends up with much bigger changes in the world.
So how exactly do you do that?
If what you're trying to do is run a group that has thousands of people, you need tools to help manage that. So that's a lot of what we're announcing today, and we have 300 of the people here who have built the strongest communities on Facebook. One of the women here, her name is Lola. She started the secret group on Facebook called Female In. I don't know if you've heard of this. She started it. She describes it as a no-judgment support group for women to talk about whatever issues matter the most to them, right? So whether it's issues in their marriage or in their job or health or anything. And what she's found is that people come and start talking about basic issues, but then it actually has given people an outlet for some really important things too. So now sometimes women come and talk about domestic violence, and within minutes she says that people get thousands of messages of support, offers of places to stay and help with childcare. And she didn't start off trying to build a community that was going to change the culture around domestic violence. But when you start bringing people together and giving people a way to connect, that's the kind of thing that this can lead to. So that's what we want to try to unlock in the world. And our view is if we can help build those tools and give more people like Lola in the world the power to build more of those communities, the world is going to be a much better place.
Take me inside Mark Zuckerberg's head to the moment that you decided you needed to change Facebook's core mission. Was there an event that happened, or was there just a moment that you said, we got to change something?
Well, for most of the last 10 years, this idea that the world should be more connected was not very controversial. Right, and now I think there are starting to be some people who question whether that is good. So just been this evolution where for me and for a lot of the people I work with at Facebook, we feel like giving people a voice is a really important thing to do, but it's not enough to just give people a voice. You also have to help build common ground, right? So that way people can move forward together and aren't just sharing a lot of different opinions, but you actually have to help reconcile that. So that way people can come together as well. And that's a lot of the responsibility that we feel now and the mission that we want to take on for the next 10 years of the company.
We keep hearing we've never been more divided, we've never been more polarized. Was it the political climate that led to kind of this awakening?
I think it's really this feeling that simply connecting the world is not enough by itself, that you also have to work and do proactive work to help bring people closer together, right? So you need to give people a voice so we can get a diversity of opinions out there, but you also need to do work to help build enough common ground so that way we can make progress as a society together, right? You want to help people stay connected with the people they already know and care about, but you also want to make it so that people get access to new people and new perspectives too. So we're going to keep on doing everything that we were doing before to connect friends and family and to help people share. But now we also want to help people build communities, right? And other ways that they can connect and help people bond and come together and spread tolerance and a lot of the values that I think we all want to see in the world.
So let me ask you how you do that, because technology, to a degree, is always promised to help us discover and to help us learn. There's also the question of, like, does it make us more insular, and is information being hijacked and spread? So as you make the future of Facebook these communities, how do you make sure they remain a place for authenticity and for real discourse?
People are connecting over something that they have in common. And there's a lot of research that shows that if you want to engage on issues that you disagree on, right, so things that society is divided on, the first thing that you need to do is connect over your common humanity, right? So that can be something as simple as, we both have families, or we both like a TV show together, or we both like the Chicago Cubs, or whatever it is. So bringing people together and creating these communities is, I think, a lot of what we can do to help create more civil and productive debate on some of the bigger issues as well.
What have you had to kind of learn from the spread of misinformation, or what have you learned to make sure that people can really connect?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that I've learned as I've traveled around is that great communities have great leaders who are engaged and who just feel an ownership of taking care of the people in their groups. So one of the things that I think that we can do is just empower leaders and all these folks who want to start communities around the world to do this.
You've spent a good amount of time traveling around the country, sitting at the dinner table with folks in Ohio, Indiana, going to factories. Are we as divided as it seems?
On some political issues, I think we are, but on more things than are usually covered, we are not, right? I mean, people have a lot of the same interests, right? I mean, a lot of people like the same sports teams, and bond over the same things in their neighborhoods. We all kind of want the same things for our families and the people that we care about. And one of the things that has been really inspiring to me as I've gone around is I've seen people who I might disagree with on different things, but you really come away with this feeling that people genuinely do care about helping and caring for other people. And that just gives me a lot of faith.
Facebook is nearing 2 billion users, so how do you ensure for the next billion users that Facebook is a good place for democracy?
And we want to give everyone in the world a voice to express what matters to them, right, and help bring people together to be able to solve important challenges. One of the big things that I think that we need to do is just help connect the half of the world that's not on the internet to the internet. And that sounds like a very basic thing, and you and I probably take that for granted because we've had the internet for a while. But for a lot of people in a lot of parts of the world, just having access to share your opinion or send a message to your partner or your friend, or learn what the prices are for products at the market, look up basic jobs. I mean, those are important things that a lot of people don't have an equal opportunity and access to do. So there are a lot of things that we can do to solve this. At Facebook, we're building technology like solar-powered planes to beam down internet access to places that might be remote islands or in the middle of a rainforest. We're working on new business models with operators to do this, but this remains one of the things that I'm most excited about for the next decade and beyond is just unlocking access to the internet for the next 3 or 4 billion people. And I think if we can do that, all these folks who today don't have the tools to start businesses or create new tools, they'll now be able to make our lives better too. And that's going to be a very powerful thing.